In this video, we're going to start looking at data, which is basically just the information we bring in for a statistical study. Now, the heart of data is the variable. What is a variable? A variable is a characteristic of an observation. Well, what's an observation? Okay, I think that the best way to define this is with an example. Let's say that I am doing a study about hair and eye colors. So I come over here and I ask Jen, I find Jen and she has blonde hair, blue eyes. And then I come and I find Jim, who has brown hair and brown eyes. And I find Joe, who has red hair and green eyes. And then I find Jack, who has blonde hair and brown eyes. You get the idea. I just keep all of these, I keep asking people for hair color and eye color. All right? A single observation would be one individual, a person or an item in the study for which we measure. So Jen has blonde hair, blue eyes. That is a single observation. Jim has, what did I say? Brown hair, brown eyes, I believe is what I said. That is a single observation. And then what do we measure? We are measuring hair color and eye color. So those are our two variables. What's your hair color? What's your eye color? Those are the variables. Those are the characteristics of each individual observation. Okay, let's put this together into a table. So I've got a table here, and each column in the table is labeled with a variable name. Usually in these tables, columns are the variables that we're dealing with. What's the student's name? What's the student's age? What's the student's major? What's the student's GPA? So each column in this table is a variable. It's what we are measuring. It's the information we want to gather. It's really what it is. So columns of a table are variables, and then we take one observation, and that becomes a single row in this table. Single observation, the Latin word for that is datum. This is total trivia. You don't need to necessarily remember this one particular point for any exams, but it's fun to know. A single observation is known as a datum. So when you have multiple observations, we need to take that Latin word datum and make it plural. Well, in Latin, the way that you make a word plural is you remove the um and replace it with an a. That's data. So that's what we mean by data, or data, however you want to pronounce it. Data are a collection of single observations. And in a table, a single datum or a single observation would be one row in the table, and the collection of rows would be your data. So we have observations as our rows and variables as our columns put together. That creates this nice table, which we often call a data set or a data matrix. All right, so that gives us a good idea of what data is. Now we need to dive in and talk about variables. What are variables? What types of variables can we have? And what can we do with these variables? And that will be the subject of the next video, along with the next two sub-lessons.